Hello and welcome back to the Super Movie Bros podcast. I'm Kyle,
I'm Michael.
and we're not even gonna have to pay attention that I did it right. But
Oh, yeah.
this week we're doing would you call it a blockbuster of this year? Certainly,
Yeah.
certainly made blockbuster money,
Mm-hmm.
and it's unless I'm wrong, it's like one of the only we did one other movie this year that was kind of a blockbuster hit, which was Sinners.
Yeah.
And we both were kind of disappointed by it.
Yeah.
So we were trying to I wanted Michael to see with weapons, and so we were like, let's give another big name movie a shot. So we
What,
did.
the word you're really looking for that you're misrepresenting is like a recent movie, since normally we do older movies.
Yeah, recent this year. Yeah, came out 2 months ago, I think,
Yeah.
or by the time this airs, 3 months ago, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did Zach Kreger's Weapons this week, and yeah, let's take it away. Well, actually, before we get into it, I want to say that. You know who almost produced this movie and put it out was Jordan Peele. His Monkey Paw Productions little label. He's not a musician. But you know what movie they picked instead?
No.
Was the one that came out this week, Him, that everyone's just trashing. So he picked one of the two, and he definitely, I think, from what I've seen, picked the wrong one.
Yeah.
So that was like a little funny tidbit I wanted to throw in there before we started. But yeah, so Weapons.
That is really funny because this is a very Jordan Peele style movie.
It is.
Like this
I agree.
is exactly the kind of thing that he tries to make.
Yeah, I don't know what led to him deciding which movie over the other, but I think he's probably kicking himself in the ass right now.
He should be.
Yeah, because this movie made a lot of money for
Yeah, because it was
the genre.
$38 million budget and it made like $257 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, horror movies get a good mid-budget and you'll make a lot of money
Yeah.
with this. But yeah, so we did Weapons, and I think most people probably know the premise. If you're watching this, you probably have already seen it. So a bunch of kids leave the classroom and disappear into the night.
Well,
And you take it. Where did you take it? Where you want to go first? Because I'm more interested to see what Michael has to say, since this is kind of outside his wheelhouse a little bit. Although there's a lot of parts of this movie that I knew Michael would like.
this is not as much outside of my wheelhouse as it is that kind of movie where, like, if somebody else wanted to see it, I would go see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to see it. And I would say it is very good. It is the best example of this thing I have a hard time describing that I don't necessarily like, which is, like, I don't know what it is, but for some reason with this kind of movie, you know, the setup is always so interesting and all of the things that happen, but that explanation can never live up to, you know, what it is. And I will say it doesn't, but it's still very good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It might be that there's nothing that lives up to it, because the second you create your own rules, it's like, okay, well,
Would you rather it explained everything away with like grounded, realistic explanations, or more magic?
no. The magic is what
You would have hated Did you ever watch Longlegs with Nicolas Cage?
I did hate Long Legs.
So you probably hated the ending, because everything else up to that point felt very Silence of the Lambs, and then it was magic, magic, magic.
Yeah, and really,
I wanted it to be
really-
like a real
Yeah.
dude, like real.
100%, especially when you market yourself as the next Seven. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
nothing like
Yeah.
Seven.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that it's like Seven and Silence of the Lambs, and then it ended up being like half of that, and then it was just then it got into some dark art stuff. And
Yeah.
I'd kind of lost it there.
Yeah, well, I also will never forget, and it's funny, we're talking about a different movie now, but it's important to say, because like I said, this movie does what it was doing much, much, much better.
Yeah.
But Longlegs, whenever she's at that final house and the dad or whatever is like something like, I'm gonna go to the kitchen or whatever, and he's like, and
he
she's
comes
like,
out.
oh, and I come back, whatever. He's like, you're not gonna come back. I'm gonna come back, or something like that. It just felt really,
Forced.
really stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, this one I felt like it didn't
Overdo it.
overdo it, and instead of the big reveal being like, oh my god, it kept it moving. It
Yeah.
was like, now we're working with this, and you're like, okay, but it was interesting, like it was well done.
Yes. I like the one thing that kind of really got me into it was like when I knew I was really going to like it was I I really like the intro because I like the George Harrison song in it. And then I didn't know the setup was you're seeing it from these 4 different characters' point of views. And I really liked how, you get to Julia Gardner's, is it Julia or Julia? I don't know. I'll call her Silver Surfer. Because there's all these people are all like, got Han Solo, you've got Thanos, you've got Wong, and then you got Silver Surfer.
That's funny.
She right when you see their arc kind of get to like the climax, it cuts away, and then you're now to the next person, which I really, really liked her character a lot, and I really like Josh Brolin's character a lot.
Yeah.
I tend to like him in almost anything he does, but
He's very good.
he was when he was trying to figure out why all these kids left the house and where they're going. That was one of my favorite parts is when he's playing detective kind of thing.
No, me
going
too.
over to people's houses and lining it up and stuff.
No, I agree. And one other thing I'll say is it does do a great job of making the characters flawed in realistic ways.
Very grounded.
And I like that. I mean,
Well, except for the one person, it's not very grounded, but
yeah, no, true. The only thing I would say is the cop played by Han Solo. I can't say his name. The last name is too hard.
Ehrenreich or something. Yeah.
He was a little over the top, but it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
So like I was all right with it.
Yeah, when you get him away from her and with the junkie
Yeah.
is what I really liked, that their interactions.
You did. I don't know. I felt a little
Other way around.
I felt I would flip it a bit, but I don't know. It's hard to explain because the junkie stuff. That was another thing I had a little bit of a problem with. He just happened to break into that house.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little
I mean, that one was a bit of a stretch.
too easy, maybe.
Yeah.
But, oh well.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. 100% it's fine.
I thought the actor did a really good job of portraying the junkie.
No, he did.
And then the whole no sharp needles thing, and then the punch.
Yeah, that kind of took me by surprise.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, damn.
Yep.
That's a little much.
Yep. And then so then you also have the principal, which is we're gonna call him Wong. He's from Doctor Strange, who you don't really think is going to be that big of a character until a certain scene, and that I thought I thought the makeup effects on him that was pretty terrifying to me. I like his eyes bulging and all
the
that
eyes
stuff.
were intense for sure.
But it all kind of leads up to, I guess, Aunt Gladys, I guess would be what it's all leading to, and then you meet her kind of, I guess, halfway, and then you kind of go with her and that family for the rest. And so she is. So I guess my one question I told you when we were in the elevator going up here is, do you think she was a actual relative of them, or do you think that she was like this? She's been around for a long, long time, and she's been doing this to survive because she's getting the youth from the students. Spoiler alert. Did you not even think about this?
I didn't really, but you know what I just thought of? You've seen Rick and Morty, right?
Yeah,
You remember the episode with the parasites?
I think.
You think maybe it could be a situation like that?
Yeah, maybe for
You
sure.
know what I mean? Where because they do that, but this movie does. It's funny because if it's too subtle, it pisses me off. Because then I'm like, all these like sophisticated people are like, well, it's clearly talking about blah blah, and I'm like, that's annoying. This movie does it, in my opinion, maybe kind of the opposite, where it's a little too on the nose, where they have the parasite like thing going on in the TV, and then there's another parasite related thing in the very next scene. I'm like, all right, quit yelling at me. But maybe that's what she is. She's like, kind of like the Rick and Morty parasite. Gets into your head, and you're like, oh yeah,
I think I tend to lean on the side of that she's not actually related to them, because you hear the characters sit there and they go like, I think one person said like, it's been 15 years since we've seen them, and then at one point they say she hasn't seen them in a much longer time. They kind of play loosely with like, you can't really trust who's telling you this information. Really, you don't know exactly who she is. Obviously that's by design. And then when you get to her and you get to her motive and the way she does it, I think it makes the movie better for me, but I can also see where that would take it down for you once you start getting into all the voodoo shit.
I didn't like once you're in it, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm it's like I'm upset that it happened, but the way it was done well. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like they make it interesting and they like it's still like the plot still is being moved by characters and their situation more so than like using all these little magical things as a crutch.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. I don't think it. Yeah, definitely doesn't use it as a crutch. I don't think.
It doesn't, and it doesn't make the ending easy. It feels earned.
The ending is very. I think you could call it goofy. Maybe it's very goofy and over the top and silly,
Yeah.
but it's very earned.
Yes.
And it's kind of like. It's not that realistic ending you might have wanted from Longlegs or even get from this, but it's still very visceral and the
Longlegs wasn't earned in any way. It was
Yeah.
it was keeping a mystery until the answer was just really dumb.
yeah.
And then this one, all of the setup justifies, how it goes, and of course, it is really funny. No, it's funny because at
Like
that
they're
point,
just running
when
through the
she's
windows
yeah,
and-
she's running away and everything. Haley's like laughing. She's like, I feel like I'm not supposed to be laughing. I'm like, no, you absolutely are supposed to be laughing.
Yeah.
Like this is the guy from WKUK. So like, and so I showed her The Grapist for the fourth time. And she's like, I feel like you've shown me this before. I'm like, I have, but I'm showing you. That's what this guy is. He just is also like a good writer for serious stuff too, and he's gonna of course blend it. And I think that was perfectly done. I don't know what I thought was funny, and I think Haley left this too. Is once Josh Brolin's walking through and she's like on the phone, she's like, now there's a man walking. I don't know. I just thought that was really funny.
Yeah, no, it for some weird reason it reminds me of, I believe it's Jackass 2, the beginning of Jackass 2, where they're all running through this like set, and there's bulls chasing them, so they're running through
Gotcha.
windows, and the bulls are going through the windows, and it's just all these people just like watching this crowd just rush through, bull in the china shop, and then exit, and I don't know, it is funny.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm glad you brought up The Whitest Kids You Know, because I wanted to talk about that because it's wild that he's doing what he's doing now, and so good at it too.
Yeah, it is weird. It's really weird.
I would have never. I didn't know. I mean, comedians are always really good at getting into dramatic stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, but I never. I mean, I guess him and Jordan Peele, but
I think when you
I
look
think he's
at
going
it,
to overtake Jordan Peele at some point in his career. I feel that. I feel like he's more talented.
Jordan Peele had one movie that I thought was good,
Yeah,
and it was Get Out. And I think this is better than Get Out.
I agree.
Like it's more well written and it has better characters. It's more engaging throughout.
It's not completely on the nose with its message.
Yeah. Yeah, because I did see some people that are attributing a message to it, and I'm like, well, it doesn't ruin it for me because I still don't really see that.
Are you talking about like the school shooting message?
Yes.
I never really got that though. And that was the only thing that I didn't like about that movie. This movie, Weapons, is when Josh Brolin has his dream and there's just that gun floating,
Yeah, that was.
and I'm like, what the like I didn't get that never fit in the puzzle with me. Maybe I'm
No.
an idiot, but
No, I mean, it could always be that it was meant to be hinted at more heavily, and they went into editing and they were like, it doesn't really work as well as we want. You know what I mean? Like, it could
Yeah.
be any number of things.
I mean, I guess the metaphor is that just like that, a whole classroom could be.
And it could
Gone.
be the way the grief is handled, for different people.
Yeah,
like
drinking
the
and,
teacher versus the one surviving student, and it
I get it. That makes sense now.
I did really like the dynamic between her and the student in the sense that, of course, she's going to want to talk to him.
Yeah.
They're the only ones, and it's like she's not trying to be like.
Crazy. Or
Yeah, she's just trying to be like, how are you doing? We're the only people. Like, I get that it's a child, but like,
We're the only
there's-
survivors.
exactly.
Yeah, that like survivors group. Yeah, no, talking it out now, I guess it is. I could see that.
Yeah.
I
And-
didn't walk away with that.
Yeah, and it's fine because it didn't. That's like that is an issue no matter what. They weren't trying to necessarily attribute like a blame or anything. They were just trying to.
Yeah,
You know.
I think if it was too on the nose, I wouldn't have liked it.
Yeah, I don't like super messagey movies, but clearly that's not what he was making, and it was definitely entertainment first and story first, characters first, and I think it did really well in that regard. When it comes to I lost it. Oh, I think I was going to say something about the ending. Man, and another reason why it feels earned is because it does not tie up in a little bow.
No.
Like the thing ingrained in my memory is, I mean, for one, that's the strongest kid like of all time. Like he just survived everything, and but just after they're like all messed up, I don't know what to call it,
They're
but
like a catonic
hypnotized,
state, like,
yeah,
yeah,
trying
they're
to
like-
kill him. And then he's hugging them, both. And as he's hugging them both, it's basically saying, well, now they've been in that state for too long. They're not really ever going to come back out of it.
Yeah, I think
all
the
the way.
last line is like some kids spoke again and some didn't.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't wrap up in a perfect
No, but see, that also
kumbaya thing.
that also
which I like.
Yeah, that also justifies it again as far as the going a little out there with magic, because it's not trying to it doesn't feel like it's cheating with it, because it's basically saying, well, this happened to them for this amount of time. Like you're still trying to ground it.
Yeah.
Even though it's not real, it still feels like there are rules to it, and it can, I don't know. I like that a lot.
Well,
I mean, I don't like it. It sucks, but I like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, within its own rules, it makes sense that I don't know because she's a witch. She's a witch, so
Yeah.
it's like if you kill the witch, does her spells and curse, do they just disappear, or did you have to get her to do that? You killed her, so it's like, does that curse kind of linger on these children? It's what I kind of got from it, maybe. And I
Yeah.
guess some were strong enough to break it, or some weren't. But I liked that was a good ending, or a good ending line, I guess.
Yeah.
Rather than
No, I get that. So one thing I read, I think on Reddit, was somebody said this is much better than Long Legs, and it was better than something else, worse than Hereditary, which I can understand in quality, but I would never watch Hereditary again because
I have a hard
Weapon-
time rewatching that one.
yeah, that one's disturbing. But it said it's way worse than The Witch. So on its hierarchy, it said The Witch was like the best. But I looked into that and I was like, it probably would be. It sounds like it could definitely be
know
too
how I feel
disturbing for
about
me.
that.
But also, it sounds like that kind of thing that I don't like,
I don't think you would like The Witch.
because it's just everyone turning on each other.
It's
kinda
everyone's
thing.
turning on each other. It's depressing as shit.
Yeah, that's not for me.
When I watched it, I wasn't paying attention as good as I should have been.
That's what everyone said. The first time they were kind of bored, and then the second time they
Yeah,
found
the
it.
first time I'll be honest, like I didn't know. I didn't go in there expecting it to be this grand like masterpiece that people now call it or whatever. And it's kind of hard to get into because they're speaking in this really old English pilgrimage stuff, kind of just like really almost like a foreign language sometimes, the way they're talking. There's just really, really old English, which is, it gets you into the movie. It gets you to feel like you're part of this really old time, but then it gets to a point where I just sometimes don't know what the hell they're saying to each other. And then all this dark shit happens, and then it's just this fantastical, mystical ending. I don't think you'd like it.
Got it. Yeah, no, that's
I could see why people would like it the second time once you realize what you're getting into, but I would take this movie over that.
yeah. I think Weapons would probably be my
For sure.
thing out of that whole bunch. Hereditary is another one that I felt like could have benefited from going, like, that's actually, out of all these, the one that would have benefited from not going fantastical at all would have been Hereditary. If you made it entirely that she was just crazy, her mom was crazy, and that's all that was, like, basically they were doing all the things, that
Yeah.
would have been perfect.
I'd be fine with that. I feel like movies these days, they always have to, it can't be as simple as the person went batshit crazy. They got to add some sort of
But they think
mystic.
they think they need to do that, but they don't.
They don't.
But I will admit, if they don't, there is like a chance that it's like you or I are going to say like, oh, well, that's definitely a better movie. And then the average moviegoer, which I'm not trying to slander regular people, but
They want to see that.
as if we're not regular people. All of this sounds bad. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of people that that want the big bombastic stuff every single time, and I'm like, do you not understand? You're diluting cinema itself
Yeah.
by doing this.
No, I get it. People they pay money to see something. They want to see the dark evil, and they want to see the magic, and they want to see the demons and stuff.
I don't know where that came from though.
I think it's like The Conjuring. I think this mid 2000 2010 stuff from The Conjuring and stuff, because it went from like slashers then to ghosts, and now it's like a possession thing. And I think people want to they want to be able to blame it on something rather than the possibility that that could happen to you, and you could. I don't know. I think it's like
People playing the blame game.
it's easy to escape. I mean, it's not really escapism if it's person just went crazy, and that could happen to your mom, or that could happen to your aunt.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, and Seven isn't my favorite movie, but
There's no magic in it though, so that's
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We used to value something that just told a good story and gave you a good like like coming full circle. Like,
Yeah.
that used to be the priority. I don't know.
especially when you market a movie to be like Seven or Silence of the Lambs, and then you go into it, and then
Yeah.
it's just like it's like a kick in the nuts. It's like what?
Yeah, that is
Like,
insane.
don't call it that then. Like,
But it still got treated. Longlegs still got treated like it was like the thing it claimed to be. Everyone's like, it lived up to the hype. No, it
I
doesn't.
think it's like 65% of what it claimed to be. I really enjoyed. This is becoming a long legs kind of discussion too, but
That's
they're
fine.
they're all in the same ethos for me, atmosphere for me, or whatever I'm trying to say. But
Yeah, that it's I feel like it's a new horror like genre or subgenre that was
high-end
created.
horror.
Yeah, it was like created by Get Out. I feel like it's what
Yeah.
started this thing of these kinds of movies.
yeah, that they're more highbrow horror, I
Yeah.
guess. A24 kind of really started this artsy, fartsy highbrow horror that is good, but sometimes they just they just try to be highbrow just to be highbrow.
Yeah,
And that's like, screw off. I don't want to watch that crap.
yeah,
This one seemed, everything felt grounded. You know, Silver Surfer, she deals with it by drinking a lot. Thanos deals with it by being really bad at his job and sleeping in his son's bed and not really getting over it. Who else am I? The other kid
Han Solo.
Han Solo deals with it by cheating on his, just being a bad
yeah,
guy.
yeah, he does. Yeah,
Hey, if you're a consistent man, he's got to be your least favorite character.
man, he is.
And then I did like she did pour the vodka. I mean, I think she really did deserve what she got. You know,
Yeah,
she lied there, she lied at the store, and she did sleeping with him.
yeah. No, honestly, it's so stupid because, like I said, I am like, oh, really good characters. And that did bug me. I didn't like it.
He doesn't like adultery in movies.
I don't.
That's fine. That's fine. You're a good
Well, no,
person.
I think I don't want my characters that I'm backing to be that.
Shitty, yeah.
Yeah, that well, this sounds really bad. There's a way to show a cheater in a movie. Like, all right, this sounds so messed up, but when it's like in that situation, it's too real and it's too like seeing him come home after and everything. It just brings you into it. I'm like, oh yeah,
too
that's
realistic.
it's really shitty. Whenever you have a guy like a James Bondian guy or whatever, and you're just like, yeah, screw that bitch,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Let's like that. That's for some reason different to me.
But when he's a cop, a small town cop who's trying to have a child,
Yeah, that
actively trying to have a child,
exactly.
actively not drinking,
Yeah.
trying to be sober, and then he just fucks up both.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they don't really tell you right away. Well, they do tell you right away that they pretty much slept together because he's like, I'm not drinking, and
Yeah.
the next scene is
yeah, exactly.
that was and then the kid deals with it by just being a weirdo,
Wait, the little kid?
the one that survives, or
What do
the
you mean
one
being a weirdo?
not being a weirdo, just I guess he doesn't really deal with it at all because you really don't get him to the end, so you just kind of follow him.
Well, yeah, no, he just has to handle everything.
But then he becomes
he becomes the parent.
hero.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, kind of.
I feel like with that, it was like he had to become the caregiver to everybody.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because once you get inside the house, it's, his parents are also in this catonic state.
I wonder if that is kind of an allegory too, in a way, in the sense that maybe
There's always one.
Maybe in a school shooting situation, if your son's the only survivor, maybe the parents could potentially kind of be too freaked out to do what they need to do, and the kid doesn't know how to handle it, so he just does, keeps going. Like a kid can't maybe process that well enough to be in the condition that the parent, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. So that was interesting. I liked that a lot. For sure.
I thought the scene that really got me is when they get the forks and they just start stabbing themselves in the face in front of him.
Yeah,
I'm
that was tough.
Oh, I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I was like, when is she going to get them stopped?
Yeah, and they keep doing it for a while.
Yeah.
I'm like, ah. So the movie really does a good job of it. Kind of blends it's a thriller, it's a mystery, it's obviously a horror movie, and then it becomes a little bit of a goofy comedy right at the end.
Yeah, basically just for one thing to happen, and I liked it a lot. Like that was perfectly done.
Yeah.
I do have one last question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So he's doing the Resident Evil, right?
Yes.
Dude, I feel like that'll be the first Resident Evil movie that actually is what it needs to be.
I hope
I didn't watch the other ones, but I can already see they're their own thing.
he's already said that he's never watched the other ones either.
Oh, he hasn't even watched
He said,
them?
I have never watched those movies.
But he
Which
basically
that's good to me.
what he's basically said is like it's gonna very much be like for fans of the games, and it'll be very tonally similar to the games. And I'm like, that's perfect because that's the exact kind of horror I like. Is
Yeah.
where it can be jump scary or whatever, but the point is to have like Resident Evil 4 to me is my favorite kind of like horror type story where you keep trying to overcome the horrors and then they keep getting greater until the end where you finally, I don't know. Like
Yeah,
it's
no,
a
I get that.
mixture of action and horror in a way. I feel like that's what he'll do.
And you can see a little bits of action in this where you can tell he'll be a good action director.
100%.
And I do like hearing that he is not watching those shitty, whatever, 4 or 5 of
Paul
them. I don't know.
Anderson
Yeah,
or
Paul
whatever.
W.S. Anderson
He did. I mean,
or
to
W.
give,
Anderson.
to give him credit, I'm pretty sure he did some of the novelizations of the things or whatever. So I read the first Resident Evil game story in book form, and he did good with that. So, but I just think that it's always a bad idea to try to separate entirely off and do your own thing, which technically Zach Kreger has said he's doing, but I know I trust him.
I do trust him. I hope he chose that this is something he wanted to do, and it's not you make 2 movies that you want to do, and then they make you make the big budget one, kind of like Guy Ritchie making Aladdin.
No, I think when I see him in WK,
I hope this isn't the case.
yeah, when I see him in WKUK, I think he was like a gamer at that time and is involved in that kind of thing. So I think
it's wild that it's still wild that he's the
Oh,
the
I
dude
remember.
behind all
I
this
remember
stuff.
what I forgot earlier. I think, and we'll never be able to confirm it because he's dead. But I think Trevor Moore may have been more the comedy guy,
Probably.
and Zach Kreger was probably the guy that brought anything. You know what I mean? Like they were probably 2 parts of the whole, and like maybe Zach Kreger like brought things down to reality a lot of the time.
Yeah. Well, I guess to close it out on this one, since we're running close on time, did you see that there was a Trevor Moore little Easter egg to him?
No.
I only know this because of the internet, and I haven't seen every Whitest Kids You Know sketch. But when he puts down the food and there's like that 9 hot dog thing.
Oh, that I saw. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I guess there's a sketch where he's 9 hot dogs for lunch or something. I don't know.
7, I think.
7. Yeah, whatever. But yeah. Would you recommend this movie?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I absolutely think this movie lives up to the hype. I think it deserves the amount of money it made, and I think it just lives up. It's everything I thought I wanted it to be, and probably a little bit more. Surprisingly.
Yeah. No. I agree because I didn't have high expectations for it. I was just like, all right, let's see what this is. I had no idea what to expect from it based
Good.
on the previews, and I was very happy with it.
Good. I like hearing that. So Zach Kreger, good luck with Resident Evil. I believe in you.
Don't let us down.
Don't let us down. See you guys.
Adios.